Welcome to the 2013 Golden Heart Volunteer Celebration. I'm Pam Seiler, Executive Director of the Volunteer Center, and I'd like to thank you guys all for coming out here tonight to celebrate York County's incredible volunteers. Before we get too far into this tonight, I wanted to call your attention to the painting that we have on display here. It's called Natural Treasure, and it was painted by artist Karen Cook. Now, some of you may recognize that this is the cover of the York County Living's 5th annual philanthropy issue, which you all got on your seats here this evening, and which was released in February. Now, what you may not know is that anyone can bid on this painting by mail to York County Living, which happens to be one of our media sponsors here tonight. But the best part is that all of the funds raised from this go directly to York County charity, the bidder's choice. And I can personally attest to the fact that the Volunteer Center has been a recipient of some of the funds from one of these paintings in the past. It is a great opportunity for you to support a local charity of your choosing. The philanthropy issue is a special issue of the magazine that focuses on all kinds of charity related topics like volunteerism, leaders in the community, information about politics, and the philosophy of giving. To date, the philanthropy covers have raised almost $13,000 for local charities. So I encourage you to consider bidding on this year's painting and raising that number even higher. We also have copies of this year's philanthropy issue on the back display table, so if you want additional copies, please help yourself. This year, the Volunteer Center is celebrating 20 years of volunteer service to York County. We were actually founded as a project of the Leadership York County class of 1992-93. And at this time, I'd like to ask anyone who is part of that class, anyone who has previously served on our board of directors, or anyone who is currently on our board to please stand for our thanks. We've got a lot of you out there, I know we do. Thank you. I'd also like to thank all of our Golden Heart volunteers who have helped make this evening what it always is, incredibly special. Anybody, please, who is on our Golden Heart committee or who has volunteered for the Volunteer Center as part of this event, please stand so we can thank you as well. Come on, I know you're out there. Carly, come on, Mark. Come on, everybody stand up. Nobody wants recognition. Sue, everybody, thank you. Thank you. It's a lot of work, and goodness only knows I could not do it by myself. As part of our anniversary celebration, our board thought that we should develop a little project as a way to commemorate our 20 years, about where we've been and where we want to go. So with a little thought and discussion, we came up with what we called the Volunteer Project. Now, the Volunteer Project is an ongoing effort for us to recruit volunteers to our website, volunteeryorkcounty.com. We know that it's not that people don't necessarily want to volunteer, but it's the fact that sometimes they just don't know where to volunteer. So what we want to do is we want to register people to the website so that they get email notifications about different volunteer opportunities that are available on either an ongoing or a one-time basis. It doesn't sign you up for anything, and it doesn't commit you to anything. It simply gives you the information so that you can decide if there's something that you're interested in doing. We think that one of the best things about this project is the fact that we have a way to contact volunteers in case of an emergency. If there was an emergency blood drive, if there was a missing child, we would be able to contact a large group of volunteers and get them mobilized as soon as possible. Our goal when we started this project back in September was to register 500 new volunteers by this coming August, hence the 500 that you see here. 1 year, 500 volunteers. I am thrilled to announce that as of today, 7 months into our project, we have already registered 569 new volunteers. So now we're on our way to our next 500, and that's where you guys come in. Conveniently, we have volunteer registration cards at each of your tables, along with some very nice Baylake Bank pens that are in your little goodie bags there. We'd love to have you register tonight. Just fill out the card with your name and the information that we request on there. If you're interested in receiving information, again, about volunteer opportunities, we will get you registered and into our system. As a special incentive, what we're going to do is we're going to pick one name from all of those that register to win a volunteer vacation package that we have, which includes a stay right here at Stone Harbor, tickets to Peninsula Players, massage gift certificates, champagne, chocolate, wine, a gift certificate to the Log Den, and this beautiful bouquet of flowers donated by Sturgeon Bay Florist. So, for those of you who have already registered and are on the website, we want you to be able to win too. So, please feel free to just put your name on your card and then just make a little designation already registered, and we will, that way know who's registered and who hasn't been. And if you don't win the super cool vacation package, then we have these awesome t-shirts, which we are giving away as part of the volunteer project, designed by our very own Eric Minton over at Betcher Communications. Thank you, Eric. They are very popular. You may have seen them on the streets already. There's lots of people wearing them. So if you register, you are welcome to grab a t-shirt. Just stop by the Volunteer Center and we will make sure that we get you the size that you need. At this point, I would like to thank our title sponsor, Ministry Door County Medical Center, and our major sponsors, Thrivent Financial, Door County Charities, Bay Lake Bank, the Green Bay Packers Foundation, Main Street Market, and Wisconsin Public Service for their support of tonight's event. You are all great stewards of our community, and we are incredibly grateful. And please take a moment to look at all of tonight's sponsors in your program, and remember that these individuals and businesses are asked time and time again to give, and they always find a way to say yes. Please thank them for their generosity to our community by patronizing them as well. And lastly, a special thank you to Stone Harbor and its wait staff who are doing a tremendous job here tonight. I think a round of applause is definitely in order. And I'd like to make special thanks to Door County Floral for the beautiful table arrangements here tonight, and Sturgeon Bay Florist for the beautiful, gorgeous podium piece, and the rose bouquets that the Golden Heart recipients will be receiving this evening. Again, we couldn't do events like this without your help, and we are incredibly grateful. Just a quick word about our honorees this evening. Each honoree has been nominated by an agency or a member of our community. They submit a 2-page narrative about the impact and the achievement of the volunteer that they're nominating. Now, I know it sounds trite, but it truly is an honor just to be nominated. Your work is important, and those who took the time to write your nomination wanted you to know that. So what you have in the program before you and what you will hear tonight are only brief, and I mean brief, excerpts from the narratives that were actually written. The judging is done by a panel of judges that are independent of the Volunteer Center, who represent different facets of the community and who take their jobs very seriously. Choosing a Golden Heart recipient is almost an impossible task because of all the incredible work that is being done. Please know that each and every one of our honorees has reached a level of recognition worthy of a Golden Heart. Inspired by those that do is the theme of this year's Golden Hearts. And when the committee and I were working on putting this event together, I never thought that the theme would be as relevant as it is today. With the Boston bombings all over the news, we're saturated with the bad things that are happening. But Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers as most of us know him, was once quoted as saying, "When I was growing up and I would see bad things happening on TV, my mom would always say, 'Look for the helpers.'" Look for the helpers. I'm looking at the helpers. I'm looking at a room full of people and agencies that are always looking for ways to help. You are the ones that take the time and make the bad good. You are the ones that inspire us and inspire me to just be better. At your place settings tonight, you each have a little card. Now, they weren't strategically placed there, just so you know, so if you think that we're trying to send you a message, we're really not. These are simple thoughts for you to keep in your purse or your wallet to remind you of how you can inspire people to do more, to be better, to become the helpers. Tonight, this room is filled with people who inspire us each and every day, and we're anxious to hear your stories. So without further ado, I would like to introduce, on behalf of our title sponsor, Ministry Door County Medical Center, Kevin Grosskopf.
Welcome, everybody. It's really wonderful to see so many friends and colleagues and community members here tonight. I've only been here for 2 years myself, but I feel like I know a lot of you, and it seems like about half of Sturgeon Bay is in this room tonight. On behalf of Ministry Door County Medical Center, I'm very honored to be here tonight to say a few words about how important it is to volunteer in our community, and to also talk a little bit about the health benefits of volunteering. I was trying to think of how can I tie in the hospital sponsorship with volunteering. So I did a little Googling on the internet, and there are tons and tons of studies and articles that come up about the health benefits of volunteering. We all lead very busy lives, and it's often very hard to volunteer and find the time to volunteer. However, the benefits of volunteering can be enormous to you and to your family, and especially to our community. I believe that volunteers are the glue that holds the community together, and it makes it a better place to live. And I feel that we have the greatest community here in Door County that I can ever imagine being a part of, and I'm sure that you all agree. After many years of visiting Sturgeon Bay, I came here for the first time in 1984 when the water level was very, very high. It's a little different these days. But I fell in love with the community and with the town and with the northern communities in the Southern Door area. And I always wanted to live here and work here. So Jerry Warwick, our CEO of the hospital, has told me that after my interview a couple years ago, he felt that I was actually stalking the hospital because I came to my interview with a folder of press clippings, some of which he didn't even have. But I've always kept tabs on the hospital, and I've always wanted to work here. So, you know, I'm very happy to be here, and it's just a fantastic community. I discovered when I first moved here 2 years ago that this community is more engaged, more involved, more welcoming than I ever envisioned it could be. And I think it's because we all really care about each other, and we help each other and we support each other in this small community. I think part of it has to do with our geography, that we're surrounded by water. We're all on this peninsula, this island together, and we all pull together and help each other. And the spirit of volunteerism has a big part of that, and I think that that is why our community in Door County is so strong. Volunteering is a great way to meet new people, and it's a great way to strengthen your ties to the community. And it also exposes you to people that have common interests, but it also exposes people to you that might have a differing viewpoint. And I think that's really good, to be able to meet people that have a different viewpoint than you, so that you can dialogue, come to consensus, and work together. Volunteering can also provide a healthy boost to your self-confidence and to your self-esteem. And your life satisfaction. I think we all feel that when we're volunteering, we're doing good for others and for the community. And that provides a natural sense of accomplishment. And I think we all want to feel that at the end of the day, we've accomplished something that's important. The better you feel about yourself, the more likely you are to have a positive view of your life and your future goals. So that's another benefit of volunteering. Studies also show that a key risk factor for depression is social isolation. And volunteering is great because it keeps you in regular contact with people, and it helps you develop a solid support system so that when things aren't going so well, you've had a challenging day or a challenging year, it protects you against stress and depression when you're going through those challenging times. Volunteering has even been shown to lessen symptoms of chronic pain and heart disease. So these are just a few of the many reasons why Ministry Door County Medical Center is so committed to the work that the Volunteer Center does, and the fantastic job that Pam Seiler does. I think she deserves a round of applause. She makes board meetings fun. So just to conclude here, the hospital is very focused on not only the health of the community, but we're also very focused on you and your total sense of well-being, your mind, spirit, and body. And we are working on a lot of new initiatives of the hospital to integrate integrative medicine with the best of Western medicine. And we're doing a lot more with healthcare promotion of health and wellness. We're working in the schools. We have a fantastic superintendent here tonight, Patty Vickman, and her staff. We've been doing a lot of things with Southern Door, and it's been very rewarding for us to be included in that environment. So it's just been a wonderful couple years at the hospital. We continue to do new things and innovative things. And in the inspiring words of Mahatma Gandhi, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And I really believe that. So thank you.
Just one other little housekeeping that I forgot about. First of all, please silence your cell phones if you don't mind, if you have not already done so. We would appreciate that as we get to the program portion of this. And we will have 2 people walking around the room to collect those registration cards when you have them done. So just be on the lookout for them as they make their way through the room throughout the program. Each year when this event is finally over, because I am being cursed by being a planner, I always say, immediately start thinking about the next year. What can I do to make it better? What can we do? Who are we going to get? And a huge part of this event is finding the right speaker. When Casey and Nicole Rabach moved back to Door County after retiring from the NFL, I knew that they had a story that we all wanted to hear. Hometown kids and high school sweethearts who did what only 0.6%, not 6%, 0.6%, and I Googled it so I know it's right, of high school football players actually do, and that's go into the NFL. This is their story of where they began, where they went, and why they've chosen to come home. Join me as we watch this video.
County sits Sturgeon Bay, home to almost more fishing boats and sunsets than people. But the 9,000 residents are proud to call this slice of America home. The perfect place for a football player to grow up. The wide-eared Casey Rabach became part of that Sturgeon Bay football tradition. In 1993, when Casey's dad Gary as assistant coach, the Clippers were Wisconsin State football runners-up, with Casey anchoring the offensive line at center. The sport was the bond of the Rabach family. Having dad as a coach cemented it.
It was fun. It was fun, but obviously a lot of things got brought back to like the supper table type deal. So if I had a back crack or something like that, he definitely reminded me. Which in hindsight, I think that's kind of made me who I am today.
I was very proud of him. He did everything I asked of him, and then some more. And I found out then what it took to be a successful coach. It took my son to teach me what it took to be a successful coach.
I want 100% all-out effort from you gentlemen, like you've never played before, like there's no tomorrow. Don't save anything. And when you walk off the field, let them know that they have nothing to complain about because you got a chance to stick it to them and stick it to them hard like Clipper football. Let's go play football, let's go.
Gary took over as head coach for Sturgeon Bay, grabbing a state championship in 2004. He retired in 2012 after decades of coaching the Clippers. Casey wrote a scholarship to Wisconsin and brought the Badgers back-to-back Rose Bowls. He was chosen in the 3rd round of the 2001 draft by the Baltimore Ravens, making Gary a very proud papa.
We get in the stands, and I'm so excited. My son's a football player. He runs out the tunnel, and I started to cry. And tears flowing down my eyes. And we're like, well, what's this about? I think that was the pride factor. I think I was so proud that my son had worked so hard with so many years and done so many things that he finally was there. And I knew he had a big smile on his face. He was happy, and I thought, oh, this is pretty nice. I'm so happy. I gotta hope nobody's looking at me.
The Washington Redskins signed Casey in 2005. He anchored the offensive line, starting 112 consecutive games, but always remembering where he got his first start.
When I get to go back and meet the fans, from back home and whatnot. I think that's the time where everything kind of sets in and say, you know, look at what I've accomplished, and look how lucky I am to accomplish this, especially coming from a small town. You know, we've had a lot of success in football players, especially from, you know, that county. But it's amazing what the opportunities I've had and where I'm at today. And I, you know, I count my blessings every day, and I thank God for them.
This is home. Now I'm finally where I belong. Yeah, this is home.
After a 10-year NFL career, Rabach has come home, literally, back to Sturgeon Bay, back with his wife Nicole, his high school sweetheart and prom queen, back with his 3 children, Alana, Porter, and Sienna, back to give back. With the Fifth Quarter Foundation, back to help those same types of people who helped him not so long ago.
Volunteering in the community started at an early age for both of us. Growing up in a small town, you didn't have to look very far for people in need. The life lessons that we learned from those experiences carried over to our college and professional careers.
A few hours of our time meant more to the people we were helping than we could ever imagine. It didn't matter how big or small the request was, we tried to participate in all of them. All the while we knew that one day, when we were able to move back home, we would bring our experiences with us to give back and better our community.
For so many years, our family's life was dictated by 4 quarters of a game. Now we're looking forward to our next chapter, the 5th quarter. We started this foundation to fund those areas that are near and dear to our hearts, like youth education and recreation. We want hard-working kids to have an opportunity, no matter what the cards they were dealt. We want to see them succeed and to better their lives in a place we call home.
The health of our hometown is central to our cause. Everyone has been touched by cancer in one form or another. The fight is no longer just another fundraiser, it's personal. We're here to keep our home healthy, smart, and strong.
Our family is dedicated to this because we've always called this place home. Together we'll make the 5th quarter the best part in this game of life.
Come too far, and I won't go back. Yeah, this is home.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to introduce Casey and Nicole Rabach.
All right, thank you. So, first of all, thank you to the Door County, to the Volunteer Center of Door County, to give us the opportunity to come out here and kind of make this the official announcement of our foundation. You know, we've always wanted to do this for a long time, but obviously we have very busy schedules and times are tough, but we always knew when we come back that we would like to do something like this to give back to our community. Somewhere that gave us so much for so long. Like I said, our foundation we're looking to do 3 things. We're focused on youth education, recreation, and women's health. You know, both Nicole and I believe that the gift of knowledge is the most powerful gift of all. And because of that, we'll be giving out scholarships to Door County graduates who are going on to secondary educations. We want to be able to give hardworking individuals an opportunity to reach their goals and potential. We also want to improve area schools, learning centers through funding, through fundraising efforts and grants. Through these efforts, we hope that the youth of Door County can thrive, succeed, and improve this wonderful community. Another area that we want, and that is very near and dear to my heart, obviously, is youth recreation. I think most of us understand the life lessons that you learn through group activities and definitely youth sports. I know, speaking from experience, I still use a lot of those lessons in everyday life. You know, be it being a dad, being a husband, whatever. You know, I've learned to handle and overcome adversity, the benefits of goal setting, the proper way to prepare for a task at hand, and the discipline, to name a few. You know, it's a proven fact that youth sports build leadership skills, improve self-esteem, and obviously a stronger and healthier community. It's something that always
always brings the community together in my mind. We believe that our community here in Door County can definitely benefit this, and our youth can benefit from those values. And the other one that we touched upon in the video was women's health. You know, we chose this because Nicole's family, and she has been touched, her family's been touched by, you know, that nasty disease, cancer, twice now. And she knows firsthand the perils of the disease and knows the struggles that families go through. Through grants and fundraising efforts and the support of obviously everyone here in this community, we're looking to improve local treatment resources and fund research for a cure. So how do we get here? I guess that's a big question. This is the fun part for us, I think. You know, we said in the video, you know, that we've been doing this for a long, you know, we've been volunteering for a long time and doing a lot of different things. But I think we'd love to share a few of our most favorite stories that we've had. When I was in Washington, I had a teammate by the name of Ronaldo Wynn. He had a foundation that is kind of similar to what Shop and Chop with a Cop is around here, where, you know, they raise monies and take kids shopping and, you know, and make sure everybody has a great meal for the holidays and stuff. Well, Ronaldo, do I keep on breaking up here? A little bit. I apologize. Well, Ronaldo did a ton of fundraising, and with the efforts of everybody. This is working, and it will work. But anyways, you know, after all the fundraising and everything got together and the great partnerships that we made, the fun day came, the day to meet the kids at Target, an area Target that was close to the practice facility. We all showed up there, a bunch of me and my teammates and Ronaldo obviously, and a bunch of volunteers. Well, they would match up 4 children with each adult. And they were trying to keep it, you know, female volunteers with the young girls and obviously male, so that we knew where to steer the kids and whatnot. I think they had like $150 each to shop. And as they're placing people with different groups and stuff, they realized that they were one female volunteer short. Well, this was a few years ago, and Alana was, I believe, 2 years old. And you know, I had become an expert at, you know, Barbies, tea parties, and everything girly. So right away I raised my hand and said, "Hey, Ronaldo, let me take the 4 girls I'd love to." So here we go. We open the floodgates, and kids are running everywhere. All my teammates, all these macho guys, are heading over to the cars and trucks and swords and everything, and all the boys. And me, straight for the Barbies, and anything that's pink area. So the girls, you know, the girls were really cautious at first. They're kind of picking and choosing and stuff, and we had a couple other Target workers with us that were keeping notes of what they wanted. And it was so much fun because they each had their shopping cart and they're running up and down after a while. And my main mission that day was to make sure these girls had a wonderful time. And I remember we got into the tiaras and boas and tutu area. And they were having a hard time choosing. So I said, "Hey, hand them over, I'll try them on." So I'm putting tiaras on and boas. And as I'm doing this, I see a big smile come across their face. And I knew right there that this is what it's all about. You know, why you volunteer, why you do this. And that's kind of what we're focusing on and why we've come to where we are today. And I know Nicole's got a great story, and this one's one of our favorite also.
While living in Baltimore, I, along with other NFL wives, became active in volunteering at the Ed Block Courage House. The Courage House is a safe transitional home for severely neglected and abused children. It provides all levels of treatment for children and has daily curriculums so that they don't lack in any of their education while in transition. I had Casey join me in visiting the Courage House. We colored pictures, read books, played games, just gave them 100% of our attention to the kids just so they can have fun. In doing so, a 4-year-old resident became a big fan of Casey's. His name was Harold. Casey left ahead of me, and when I was saying goodbye, Harold asked me what Casey's number was. And like I always answered, 61, 6-1. And his response was, so I press 6-1 on the phone when I call him? My heart instantly melted for this little guy. And it just put things into perspective that giving your time can mean the world to someone else. So keep doing what you're doing. Those receiving are so grateful, and your time is genuinely cherished. Congratulations to all the honorees tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. That is exciting news. I'm telling you, what an exciting time in your lives. I'm sure that we will all be following the Fifth Quarter Foundation and the great work that I am certain you will be part of in Door County. Equally inspiring is a woman who, for every year since the Golden Hearts have begun, has made the trip to Door County to be our Mistress of Ceremonies. Every year. Do you know that, Marty? Every year you have been here. That's 11. 11th annual. Marti Spittell Ziegelbauer, a former television anchor and news consultant, now gives her time to numerous philanthropic endeavors, primarily overseeing the Marti Spittell Ziegelbauer Foundation. The mission of her organization is to provide necessary reproductive cancer testing and care to underserved women in Northeast Wisconsin. These services are offered in hospitals and clinics, including our own Ministry Door County Medical Center. Marty, along with her husband Gary, currently focus their philanthropic concerns to the welfare of homeless people and pets. Please join me as we welcome, for her 11th anniversary at the Golden Hearts, Marti Spittell Ziegelbauer.
And I haven't gotten a year older. Thank goodness for Botox. And I now wear glasses. That's a new thing. But let me first say thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here. And how wonderful, Pam, this year, when I saw the invitation and it said, this is the feel-good event for Door County. And a round of applause for everybody, because don't you feel good being here? If you walk out of this room and you are not smiling, something is terribly wrong. And what a wonderful thing for Casey and his wife. Casey, gosh, I have to go back. I don't want to know how many years ago that I helped your mom at the events at the yacht club, and I don't want to know how old you were, probably under 10. Yeah, 3, 4, thanks. Add plus 50, and there we are. But isn't it wonderful to be in a room with so many people who feel so strongly about giving to others, and what a wonderful night to launch your new foundation. It is an amazing feeling as a couple to be able, and as an individual, to be able to do something that you and your wife are embarking upon. And I wish you nothing but tremendous success for those who will benefit from your foundation.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, without further ado, the lights go up and the red carpet is out. In case you're not sitting close enough to the stage to notice, we have a red carpet tonight. So all of you that I'm going to read about are going to come up here and stand on the red carpet, just like you were at the Academy Awards. All right? Just so you know. And if you don't come up, I'm going to come find you and bring you up. Let us begin with the Adult Award. And may I say what Pam shared with us earlier, all of you are winners in our hearts because you were nominated. All of you mean something to us tonight, and for all the things you do. We're going to begin with the Adult Award. And when I call your name, please step forward to be recognized. But first, I need all of you, and I mean it, to come up and line up on the red carpet. By name, you know who you are. Sarah Bodwin, Dick Clark, Susan Johnson, Liz Union, Barb Maskell, Myrna Pyle, Sharon Sternard, and Mary Beth Ballmer. Please come forward. We won't ask you to twirl or anything, but when I do say your name, I do want you to step forward so you can be formally recognized by everyone here. Sarah Bodwin, Door County YMCA. Growing up in Sturgeon Bay, Sarah's parents instilled in her the values of volunteerism. Sarah's father was instrumental in bringing a YMCA to Door County, and her mom volunteered teaching aerobics classes there. The contributions Sarah's parents made to the Sturgeon Bay community instilled the value of giving back that she would grow up to transfer to the world at large. Upon graduating from Sturgeon Bay High School, Sarah enlisted in the Marine Corps, being deployed to both Iraq and Afghanistan. While overseas, Sarah's mom was fighting for her life, battling cancer. When she flew home to say goodbye, she found out her father was diagnosed with cancer as well. Sarah lost both parents within 2 months of each other. Yet Sarah found the strength to carry on and give back to her community. Sarah currently serves on the YMCA Strong Kids Campaign Cabinet, speaking to groups and promotes their fundraising efforts. Sarah is always looking for opportunities to recruit volunteers and volunteers herself as the conditioning coach for the Sturgeon Bay football team. Volunteerism goes beyond showing up and putting in the hours. An effective volunteer breathes the cause of the organization they serve. Sarah embodies these traits and truly is an inspiration to us all. Sarah Bodwin. Dick Clark, Door County Soccer Association. He was unable to join us this evening, but let me share a few words about him. Over 30 years ago, there was not a co-ed league for any summer sports. Soccer was starting to gain popularity, and a group of dedicated volunteers formed the Door County Soccer Association. 1 year later, Dick Clark became involved and still to this day helps run Door County Soccer, which has grown into one of the most popular summer sports. From its initial success of Door County Soccer, the need for high school teams arose. Dick started both the boys and girls club teams and eventually made them into varsity sports. Without the driving force of Dick Clark, there would not be more than 500 kids playing soccer in Door County each summer. He is a fixture with Door County Soccer and truly a volunteer with a golden heart, Dick Clark. Susan Johnson, Door Tran. Many of Door County's neighbors, families, and friends are low income, disabled, and or possibly elderly. These people rely on volunteers on a daily basis. Susan has dedicated many hours to Door Tran as a dedicated board member and chair of our events and fundraising committee. She has led our very young organization to financial independence and continues to work with us to continue striving toward transportation options that are affordable, available, and accessible. In addition to her dedication and working full-time, she's dedicated herself to local organizations such as Door Cancer, Loaves and Fishes, Door County Habitat for Humanity, the American Red Cross, the Arise Bereavement Support Program, and Feed and Clothe My People. Susan brings dedication and motivation to every meeting and project that she works on. This inspiration carries into everything that she does, and her impact upon those around her is nothing short of amazing. Susan Johnson. Liz Junion, United Way of Door County, a small nonprofit organization that relies heavily on our board members and volunteers. Liz embodies the term working board as she remained active on several committees while serving as this year's president. Her can-do attitude, and she is the first to volunteer whenever asked, makes a huge difference. She gets her family and friends involved in whatever it is that she is doing for United Way and has a fun, creative, and out-of-the-box attitude leading the way. As a member of our strategic planning committee, Liz helped strengthen the organization by making sure the plan was challenged yet realistic. She secured sponsors and donors for events and promoted United Way activities to every single person she knew. United Way of Door County spends a lot of time educating people on all the things that it does to carry out the mission of empowering people to better their lives. Liz, as a dedicated volunteer, has been an outstanding spokesperson for the organization and its mission. Liz Junion. Barb Maskell, Women's Employment Project Incorporated. Anyone who knows Barb cannot help but be inspired. She does so much for so many and is the perfect example of, quote, one who does. Barb offers her assistance to so many different organizations, from human services to the arts and education. There is no facet of our community that she simply has not touched. For the last 2 years as a volunteer with WEP, Barb has come to the office to assist with the daunting task of organizing several years' worth of files containing confidential information. When the state alerted us to a policy change, our office staff felt overwhelmed. Enter Barb. Without her help, we would not have passed our state review with flying colors. She works with numerous nonprofit organizations as well, including the Family Centers, Door County Renaissance Fair, the League of Women Voters, Critical Response Team, and the American Red Cross. She and her husband are dedicated booyah chefs and have cooked hundreds of gallons of the favorite chicken soup. Barb is a remarkable woman who has inspired us all. Myrna Pyle, the Boys and Girls Club of Door County. Every Monday, the Boys and Girls Club serves a hot, nutritious meal prepared from scratch for all of the children who are at the club that evening. Myrna Pyle is there to make it all happen. Myrna is assisted by 5 young members who are ready to begin chopping, stirring, peeling, whatever it takes to get it done. Myrna teaches the proper way to use the utensils and oversees the creative process of the youth who are chatting and sharing their life stories with her. She encourages, corrects, listens, empathizes, and demonstrates, all while moving at a lightning pace around the kitchen. When the members sit down to eat, she remains in the kitchen and begins the process of cleaning up. The unquantifiable impact of Myrna's work includes the igniting of a new passion or hobby, the caring adult connection members have made with her, the modeling of what it means to be a cheerful volunteer, and fewer hungry children who can just focus on being a child. Impact. Myrna Pyle. Sharon Sternard, Sturgeon Bay Visitor Center. Sharon has been volunteering for the Sturgeon Bay Visitor Center for the past 5 years. She has been and is a huge asset to our organization. Sharon volunteers at nearly every Sturgeon Bay event, from the concerts in the park to Harvest Fest to the Grooven Sisterhoods event and Fire and Ice. Sharon is there, rain or shine. She is integral in helping to bring events and festivals to Sturgeon Bay. Sharon is an incredibly hard worker. She stands for long periods of time serving food and beverages at every event that we host. She hauls tables and chairs, sets up tents, checks people in, and organizes merchandise. As many organizations know, it is an incredibly valuable asset to have a strong, independent, and organized volunteer. We at Sturgeon Bay Visitor Center are blessed to have Sharon in our midst. Thank you, Sharon, for all of your hard work over the years. You are truly dedicated to your community. Sharon Sternard. Mary Beth Vollmer, Friends of Plum and Pilot Islands. Mary Beth is a member of the board of directors for the Friends, as well as the organization's social network coordinator, newsletter editor, and staff writer. She has served as volunteer coordinator and as a writer of grant proposals. Mary Beth is a much needed advocate and energetic worker for the well-being of the islands and the communities they grace. One of Mary Beth's most important contributions is her work with former residents of the islands. She's done extensive research on the succession of the lighthouse keepers, as well as on Coast Guards and their families who were stationed there. In addition, Mary Beth has been instrumental in fund drives, instigated a series of educational flyers for visitors and volunteers, and works as a docent during the annual Lighthouse Festival. And Mary Beth does all of this even though she is not even a Door County resident. Yet. Whenever she volunteers, she must drive several hours and then arrange boat transportation to the islands. The achievements of the Friends of Plum and Pilot Islands have been due to the efforts of the devoted, extraordinary volunteers like Mary Beth Vollmer. Please join me once again in congratulating the 2013 Golden Heart Adult Volunteers honoree. Thank you all. And thank you for joining us on the red carpet. While they find their places back to the seats, let us begin with the Arts and Culture Award. And I'm going to ask the following to join us. The Birch Creek Associates, John and Leslie Gast, Dennis and Eileen Mayborn, Southern Door 5th grade class team. Please come forward to the red carpet. The Arts and Culture Award. The Birch Creek Associates, Birch Creek Music Performance Center. The Birch Creek Associates formed in 1988 primarily for the purpose of raising funds for the operations of Birch Creek. But as the organization grew, it required additional manpower on concert nights, assistance in the office, and maintaining its growing campus. With a current membership of 125, the associates continue to help fill the needs of the organization. On concert nights, the Birch Creek Associates usher, greet patrons, sell popcorn, and assist in the box office and gift shop. But as we all know, the actual performances are only a small part of the work that takes place behind the scenes. Associates assist in the office, distribute promotional materials, maintain the gardens, hold fundraising events, and ready the campus for the season. The associates tell us that their inspiration comes from the students who take part in the music programs of Birch Creek. Not only are lasting friendships made, but associates also witness firsthand the life-changing process that Birch Creek students experience. We applaud them for their unending dedication and generosity. The Birch Creek Associates. John and Leslie Gast, Door County Auditorium and Door County Maritime Museum. John and Leslie Gast have been an integral part of the Door Community Auditorium and the Door County Maritime Museum for years. They are very active in the community overall and can be seen about, regularly showcasing their golden hearts and diverse skills by volunteering at festivals and parades and in countless other volunteer endeavors for their church and other local organizations. John and Leslie serve as event captains at DCA, which means they are the go-to people on show night. Their input, initiatives, and suggestions are a valued part of our yearly review and are often implemented to make the patron and other volunteer experiences more enjoyable and rewarding. Leslie also served on the DCA board, sharing her knowledge and support as we sought to stabilize our financial position. At the Door County Maritime Museum, John and Leslie have been involved in all manners of volunteering for more than 20 years. They can be seen at countless parades, festivals, and events throughout Door County, dressed as leprechauns or the Christmas trees that you see to celebrate the good work of the museum. Both serve as volunteer docents at the annual Rotary Shipyard Tours, and who can forget John's efforts each winter as the on-ice official and the overall coordinator of the annual Human Foosball Tournament at Fish Creek Winterfest. John and Leslie are perfect examples of the vital, life-changing contributions made every day in Door County by volunteers with open and golden hearts. John and Leslie Gass. Dennis and Eileen Mayborn, American Folklore Theater. We hate to admit it, but let's face it, there are certain volunteers that have nothing more than, well, enablers in their organizations. They're the ones who know that you can call because you know they'll say yes. They're the ones who you know can take on any kind of task when others are afraid to try something different. They're the ones that will do that task with a smile. Oh, they're enablers, all right. They enable us to sleep at night. Dennis and Eileen enable us to do our jobs to the best of our ability. They enable the front of the house to run smoothly and efficiently. They enable patrons who have mobility issues to make it safely to our theater, and they enable us to reach thousands of potential audience members through their work as ambassadors. Dennis has found a love for assisting the patrons with mobility issues as he plays chauffeur to them by driving the golf cart from our entrance to the seating area. Eileen can be found slightly farther down the path at the merchandise booth and is in charge of reconciling the night's sales. We aren't quite sure what we would do without their passion, expertise, and unending enthusiasm. Although it is our performers who get all the applause, with this nomination for the Golden Heart Award, we share with Dennis and Eileen not only the spotlight, but a standing ovation. Dennis and Eileen Mayborn. Southern Door 5th grade class team, Cerebral Palsy Incorporated. Since 1980, the Southern Door 5th grade teachers have recognized the importance of teaching strong values that develop character. They have adopted the Cerebral Palsy Center as our annual service learning project. These 5th graders have brought about the best in our community. The students motivate individuals and organizations from across the area to pull in the same direction toward a common goal, performing at the annual CP Telethon in Green Bay. The community anticipates and looks forward to supporting this service project and then tunes in to watch the students perform and proudly reveal their donation total. Through this great tradition, students discover how to become better citizens and gain a greater sense of pride for their community. Entire participated in this program, impacting meaningful change and creating the next generation of philanthropic leaders. Students rehearsed to perform a musical benefiting CP. Then, they spend countless hours memorizing lines, songs, and dance moves. The Southern Door 5th grade classes have collectively raised more than $500,000 to support CP services. This charitable leadership should be an inspiration to us all. The Southern Door 5th grade class team. please join me once again in congratulating your 2013 Golden Heart Arts and Culture Volunteer honorees. Group Award. Please come forward. Bargains Unlimited. Lois Rice, Lucille Sones, and Pat Loomis. Lakeshore Cap Food Pantry Volunteers. Scandia Village Capital Campaign Leadership Team. You know who you are. And Sturgeon Bay High School Project 180, AODA Student Group. We have plenty of room.
All right.
For the group award, let us begin with Bargains Unlimited 90 plus years volunteer group. Lois Rice, Lucille Sones, and Pat Loomis. What do you hope to be doing when you're in your 90s? I hope I'm still here. These three volunteers are still helping Bargains Unlimited continue its mission. Pat Loomis moved to Door County in 1997 and began her volunteer work as director of the Altar Guild for St. Luke's Episcopal Church. She helped feed workers for Habitat Humanity and has volunteered at the Ridges Sanctuary. For the last 4 years, Pat has volunteered at Bargains Unlimited, pricing housewares and distributing them throughout the store. Lucille Sones has resided in Door County since 1948 and has been an active member of the Ephraim Moravian Church, serving on the Board of Trustees, the Board of Elders, and as church treasurer. In 1981, she began working at Bargains Unlimited as one of its original founders. Lucille has worked through 3 locations, 3 renovations, and has seen numerous changes in personnel along the way. Lucille finds volunteering something to look forward to, and it is a sure thing that people here look forward to seeing her. Volunteering's been part of the life of Lois Rice as well. Lois has served on numerous boards, the latest being the Scanned Auxiliary Board. Soon after retiring to Door in 1998, Lois began volunteering at Bargains and has been working in various capacities ever since then. From pricing clothing, jewelry, and household items to sharing her ideas and retail experience, Lois has come to understand the value of volunteerism. To Lois, volunteering is not simply for the work accomplished, but for the growth of the volunteer as well. Altogether, these 3 remarkable women have contributed more than 2,000 days and at least 7,000 hours volunteering. And tonight, we honor them with our own Golden Heart. Lois Rice, Lucille Sones, and Pat Loomis. Now that's inspiration. Lakeshore Cap Food Pantry Volunteers. When times are tough, people who never thought they'd need it find themselves reaching out for help and meeting their basic needs. And one of the most basic needs is food. And for over 20 years, Lakeshore Community Action Program's Food Pantry has been there to help meet that need. The Lakeshore Cap Food Pantry could not exist without the dedicated core of volunteers who sort and weigh donated food stock, shelves, clean the pantry, defrost the freezer, shovel snow, assist clients, and maybe most importantly, provide comforting words with a smile. This band of sisters dedicates 2 or more days per week to provide these services, and despite what some would call depressing conditions have never lost their sense of humor and or enthusiasm for their work. This shows in a comment received by one of our clients. Quote, "Your service gave me a chance to be a regular, normal part of the community. I am not a scavenger. I have vehicles. I am poor, but yet I have dignity. And every time on a monthly basis, your facility made a difference." It's not a stretch to say that the Lakeshore Cat Food Pantry would not exist without this core of volunteers. It wouldn't. For this, they deserve our recognition and heartfelt thanks. The Lakeshore Cat Food Pantry volunteers. Scandia Village Capital Campaign Leadership Team. Michael Breck, Paula Hedin, Judy Bush, and Delmar Dahl. The Partners in Compassion Capital Campaign volunteers are devoted and dedicated to the residents of Scandia Village and the entire community. Because of their determination, the first phase of this campaign will be underway this summer. Their number one goal is to lift the spirits of others every time they come through the door. Together and individually, they exemplify everything you could ever hope for in a volunteer. Laughter is abundant. Hugs are openly shared. Stories are told, and people feel loved with this group of volunteers. This group defines the word compassion. They enjoy spending time with residents, either praying with them or just sitting with them so that they are not alone. They have made themselves available 24/7 and have been here for a resident during the still of the night. Michael's sense of humor, endless energy, and natural ability to brighten lives from one end of the country to the other is unsurpassed. Paula's volunteering is her passion and purpose in life. She and her friendly border collie work campus-wide doing tasks that need to be done. Judy is the founder of the End of Life program at Scandia and an active member of St. Luke's Episcopal Church, serving as senior warden. Delmar is a 3-time chaplain at Scandia Village and coordinates the campus calendar. Thanks to the volunteer efforts of these 4 individuals, they will always remain golden in the hearts of Door County's residents and their families for generations to come. The Scandia Village Capital Campaign Team. Sturgeon Bay High School Project 180, AODA Student Group. The Project 180 students meet every week to help plan, share, and model to their peers positive events in order to encourage a drug and alcohol-free school community. Project 180 created their name initially to signify how students can help turn peers around to make the right decisions. The name was then voted on by the other Door County schools and became a county-wide leadership initiative. Student leaders meet every other month to report local school activities as well as to collaborate on county-wide events. Project 180 students developed Jump Above the Influence Awareness Month with Fun Friday noon-hour activities, a teddy bear toss for Children's Hospital, and development of a middle school mentor. It's a leadership team that works with 8th graders. These students are now working on a community-wide spring lockout to help raise awareness and funds for the homeless in collaboration with our local Habitat for Humanity. Even though these students continually face negative peer pressure, limited organizational time, and limited funding, Project 180 continues to create new ways for their voices to be heard and to encourage all high school teams to participate in making healthy choices. The Sturgeon Bay High School Project 180 Group. Please join me in congratulating your 2013 Golden Heart Group volunteer honorees. Lifetime of Service Award. I'm going to ask the nominees to come forward. We are missing Michael Breck. He was unable to attend tonight, but we're going to talk about him anyway. Sandy Brown. Dorleen Bushman. Bob Jeske. Dave Poppy. Again, this is our lifetime of service category. Michael's unable to be with us tonight, but let me tell you a little bit about him. He is the type of volunteer that goes above and beyond the organizations he serves to help individuals in numerous ways, be it physical, like providing food or a ride, or through counseling in any aspect of life. Michael's ready to help anyone at any time. Each month, Michael volunteers at about a dozen different organizations, which include Scandia Village, Habitat for Humanity, the Door County Half Marathon, of which he was one of the event founders, Friends of Gibraltar's Write On program, a writing workshop with the school's 5th graders, the Senior Resource Center, the Door County Community Foundation, Door Tran, the Drug and Alcohol Coalition of Door County, and the Ellison Bay Men's Club. Michael's contributions are obviously vast, and he will argue that this is all part of his job. It isn't. It's his calling. Please say thank you to Michael Breck. Sandy Brown. Sandy has been nominated for this year's Golden Heart because of her tireless work establishing, maintaining, and growing Door County PFLAG, Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays, the first such organization of its kind in Door County. Sandy, during its formative years of PFLAG, and despite working full-time, organized meetings and other activities with only a handful of LGBT residents in the area. Her dream was realized in 1995 with the founding of this organization. Sandy served as president of the fledgling organization for its first 15 years and began the publication of a monthly newsletter. Sandy has promoted awareness of the issues by starting an information sharing booth and has spread the word of the organization by staffing a stand at the farmers market every Saturday. Due to Sandy's efforts in these and many other ways, many of the members of the LGBT community enjoy the freedom and welcoming spirit of our great community. What had been hidden has now become open, giving and inclusive, thanks in large part to this one woman's efforts. The entire community has benefited from Sandy's vision, her tireless work, and bravery, and for that, we thank her. Sandy Brown. Dorleen Bushman. Neighbor to Neighbor Volunteer Caregivers has only one full-time employee, and the rest of the work of this busy organization is done by a team of volunteers. Dorleen has been a member of this dedicated team for 20 years. One of the constant faces at the Sturgeon Bay Medical Equipment Loan Program, Dorleen serves 3 to 4 days each week and continues to serve the needs of others despite being, can I tell them? I want to say 48, but I'm not dyslexic. 84 years old. Young, sorry. When Dorleen receives calls for equipment at her home, she schedules appointments and then meets clients at the equipment storage facility, even in the dead of winter. She is responsible for completing the required paperwork and distributing return materials and surveys. She checks in returned equipment, records loans and donations, and cleans and maintains the equipment that we house. Because Dorleen is so connected, clients often call her directly, bypassing the office. In the minds of many of our clients, she is the medical equipment loan program. Dorleen also assists with fundraising and special activities. She's taught cooking classes at Dorchester Golden Living Center, is a member of the St. Anne Society of Corpus Christi Church, and makes quilts to send to mission groups. Dorleen truly understands what it means to give a lifetime of service, and I think we all can only hope to have her energy and stamina when we are 84. Dorleen Bushman. Bob Jeske. Bob's volunteer work with Habitat for Humanity helps to address the local affordable housing problem in Door County. Although he started out as a construction volunteer, he has taken on ever-increasing responsibilities. Bob has helped build 7 homes, supervised 2, and took on the organization's first whole house remodel. He has assisted in training participants in our Women Build program and has become a leader in Habitat's Brush with Kindness initiative. Bob has repaired wheelchair ramps, worked on roofing projects, and replaced our restored display window when a customer accidentally drove through it. Bob. Was just an easy? Well, never mind. That's an easy way to pick things up. Bob also sits on the board of directors and is chair of the building committee. He's improved both the construction processes and the energy efficiency of Habitat homes. Under his supervision with the Brush with Kindness program, Bob has helped to complete 7 critical repair projects for existing Door County homeowners. Bob has provided stability to the programs through his leadership, knowledge, and supervisory capabilities. Bob's supervision has provided unskilled volunteers with the opportunity to contribute to the construction of affordable workforce housing, and he is truly an inspiration to us all. Bob Jeske. Dave Poppy. Dave has been past president of the Kiwanis Club and is instrumental in a wide variety of community projects. He's been an active member of our highway cleanup effort, assists monthly in mailing parenting newsletters, works to secure sponsorships of the Kiwanis Little League baseball team, and helps with food preparation for the annual picnic for the residents of Ministry's Skilled Nursing Facility. That's not all. In addition, Dave works the Whitefish Fries and is involved with the annual Christmas party for children and parents of the Boys and Girls Club members. When Dave was young, he was an active member of the Jim Larson Youth Center and credits Jim Larson for his desire to give back. When the Boys and Girls Club was looking for mentors to work with their youth, Dave jumped. He saw this as an opportunity and began helping with homework and providing encouragement. Dave has served on their board and is still instrumental in their fundraising efforts, especially their annual celebrity golf outing. Dave also has served on the board of directors of Neighbor to Neighbor Volunteer Caregivers and is their current president. He assists with their annual Rib Fest dinner and auction and has served as a peer companion, offering a willing ear and a caring heart. Dave continues to volunteer at his church and is a member of the Knights of Columbus. Dave leads by example and is an inspiration to all who know him. Dave Poppy. And let us again congratulate your 2013 Golden Heart Lifers who have demonstrated an outstanding commitment to volunteerism. The 3 winners of the 2013 Golden Heart Youth Scholarships are with us tonight, and we would like to ask them to come up now so we can recognize their service. Samantha Piter. Allie Sommerfeld. Sarah Waldron. Samantha. Growing up in a world with so many distractions, such as cell phones, video games, and busy jobs, people tend to forget to give back to his or her community. However, I believe that in order to become a happy, healthy individual, volunteering is essential. These are her words. Throughout my high school career, I have volunteered through many different organizations. I have volunteered through my church at St. Francis and St. Mary's Parish, Adventures Child Care, Student Council, Salvation Army, Red Cross, National Honor Society, Ignite Youth Ministry, and the YMCA. Family centers of Door County, and on mission trips and on retreats. As a peer leader in our youth group, I baked cookies for the Maplewood Food Pantry, created safe drug and alcohol-free events, and organized the annual Easter egg hunt. During my senior year, I became involved with the family centers and had the opportunity to help with their Christmas stores. Here, students dress as elves and help young children buy presents for their families within their budgets. Overall, I value volunteering very highly in my life. I know that without the help of volunteers, events that I have been a part of simply would not exist. I have gained many skills and my eyes have been opened to the world around me. This is our world, and with even the smallest deeds, anyone can change it into a happier and stronger place. Samantha will be attending UW Eau Claire in the fall and is planning on pursuing a career in health care administration. Please say thank you to Samantha Hyder. Allie Sommerfeld, Sturgeon Bay High School. Every community needs volunteers. With that being said, Allie says, I've been volunteering in my community through 4-H for more than 8 years. I have also volunteered through my church as well as through school. I believe that volunteering that I have done has built my character and has made me a more grateful person. Since 5th grade, I've volunteered at 4-H horse shows, held leadership positions in the club, and have done yard work for the elderly. I've made blankets for cancer patients, taught younger 4-H members how to ride and train horses, and have fundraised for our activities. While on a mission trip to Mississippi, I helped build new decks, stairs, and ramps for the poor and the elderly. I learned many new skills and enjoyed the satisfaction that I felt after serving others. I'm also part of the student group who created Project 180 and am proud that we create drug and alcohol-free alternatives for students in our school. Volunteering has taught me to value every day as well as to be thankful for who I am and what I have in my life. Volunteering is life-changing because it builds character and appreciation, and I will continue to volunteer in my community as I grow up. Allie will be attending UW Green Bay in the fall and is planning on pursuing a career in biology. Allie Sommerfeld. Sarah Waldron, Washington Island School District. This is her quote. Oh, actually, it's a quote by Mitch Albom that she lives by. The way you get meaning into your life is to devote yourself to loving others. Devote yourself to your community around you, and devote yourself to creating something that gives you purpose and meaning. The quote holds great meaning to her, especially in regards to experiences with the Washington Island community. Because, she says, I come from a small community, student council is not your traditional student government. It serves as a joint booster/social planning group, performs community services, and represents the school as a whole. One of my most memorable projects was heading a health awareness week for the community and school. With the incentive of getting community members interacting with students, I arranged for professionals to come into the school to speak about their health-related careers and how to live a healthy lifestyle. I arranged for the community to join the students on a walk-run to promote healthy exercise and find it very important for the older generations to develop relationships with those who are younger. I've also initiated our student council to create a tutoring service for the elementary and middle school students. I dedicate a great deal of my community service time to being involved with children. During the summer, I teach art classes and am a volunteer soccer coach. And this past winter, I was a presenter at a public speech forum where I spoke to the community about adopting a sister from Russia and why I think adoption is a great opportunity for both families and children in need. My service in the community has deepened my compassion toward people in a greater need than myself, strengthened my work ethic, and given me the skills that will carry over into my future professional career. Sarah will be attending UW La Crosse in the fall and is planning on pursuing a career in health promotion. Sarah Waldron. Each of these young ladies will be presented with their scholarship awards at their upcoming Senior Awards Banquet. Please join me in congratulating your 2013 Golden Heart Youth Volunteer Award recipients. Thank you, ladies. At this time, I'd like to introduce a great friend, Andy Betcher, Vice President of the Volunteer Center, to present the 2013 Golden Heart Award recipients.
Thank you, Marty. I'm honored again to be able to announce this year's award recipients. This year's recipients will receive a red rose, compliments of Tom Blahnik and the Sturgeon Bay Florists, a specially designed heart art piece created especially for this evening by Chad Luperger of Plum Bottom Pottery, as well as a check for $500 to donate to a charity of their choice here in Door County. First of all, at this time, I'd like to ask Megan Sarkis, on behalf of Door County Charities, to come forward to present the Adult Volunteer Award. And this year's award recipient is Susan Johnson. Congratulations, Susan. If you would like to, yes.
I would. Well, 10 years ago I moved here from Durango, Colorado, and though I'm a native of Wisconsin, I didn't have any family in northeastern Wisconsin, so volunteerism has become a way for me to sink my roots and build relationships. So tonight it just kind of feels like I'm at a family reunion, and I want to say what a joy it is for me to be here with each of you tonight. What a honor it is to be among the other nominees for this category, and what a privilege it is to accept the award on behalf of Dortran and the many men and women and children whose lives have been transformed by the services that we provide. So thank you very much.
Next, I'd like to ask Jeff Miller on behalf of Bay Lake Bank to come forward to present the Arts and Culture Volunteer Award. The 2013 Golden Heart Arts and Culture Volunteer Award goes to John and Leslie Gast. Congratulations, John and Leslie. At this time, I'd like to ask Cinnamon Rossman on behalf of Thrive Financial to come forward to present the Group Volunteer Award. The 2013 Golden Heart Group Volunteer Award goes to Lois Rice, Lucille Soames, Pat Loomis of Bargains Unlimited. Congratulations, ladies. Congratulations.
No speech, just a big thank you to everybody.
Congratulations again. And lastly, I'd like to ask Kevin Groskoff, on behalf of Ministry Door County Medical Center, to come forward to present the Lifetime of Service Volunteer Award. The 2013 Golden Heart Lifetime of Service Volunteer Award goes to Dave Poppy. Dave?
I'd like to thank everybody that came out tonight for this tremendous occasion. And it's been an honor to serve as a volunteer in Sturgeon Bay. And I'd like to give kudos to Margie Larson over there and her deceased husband Jim, who really instilled a lot of things in me. And also the Boys and Girls Club, Neighbor to Neighbor, Kiwanis, and all the rest of the groups represented. You're doing a fine job. I'm really proud to be part of it. Thank you.
Congratulations, Dave. Now, before we say goodnight, we need to draw a winner for that volunteer vacation gift basket we told everyone about. The volunteer vacation package includes, just as a reminder, a one-night stay right here at Stone Harbor, the beautiful Rose podium piece, 2 tickets to Peninsula Players, a gift certificate to the Log Den, 2 massage gift certificates, 2 bottles of champagne, chocolate, several individual wines, and 2 amazing volunteer project t-shirts. And I'm going to need some help with the drawing. If I could have Nicole Rabach come forward. I'll hold it. There. Casey. Oh boy. Inga Bacon. Congratulations, Inga. I'll meet you at the Log Den to split that gift certificate too, by the way. Lee won't mind. All right, just a few last words here. I'd like to first of all congratulate all of our nominees and Golden Heart recipients. Really appreciate you coming tonight. Thank you very much. Also, a special thank you to Casey and Nicole Rabach for joining us tonight. I think we're all reinvigorated by your enthusiasm to do good work here in Door County, and we appreciate you sharing your story with us. And we look forward to seeing what blossoms from your good work too. So thank you very much, both of you. I also want to thank Marti Spittell Ziegelbauer for being here. Thank you again, Marty. You've really helped shape this, those 11 years I think it was, Pam. You've really helped shape this into the event it is, and you remember what it was in the beginning, and look at it now. So thank you so much, Marty, for all you've done here in Door County. Thank you. And we'd also like to thank all the volunteers whose stories were shared this evening, making tonight's event one of inspiration and motivation. Thank you all. And last but not least, I know she was recognized earlier, but I too would like to thank and recognize Pam Seiler, the Director of Volunteer Center. Thank you, Pam, for your tireless work supporting volunteers in Door County. Just a reminder before you leave that we would like all award recipients to come forward for photos before you leave. And again, thank you for spending your evening with us as we celebrate volunteerism in Door County. And we hope you leave here inspired by those that do. Good night.